Welcome everyone to Monday Night Raw review for November 16th, 2015. This episode was actually pretty well done. I have to say I was very intrigued by all four matches that occurred at this event. Very well done, well put together. The tournament, is predictable, but the matches, the action itself is well worth the predictability because it keeps your intrigue. Several of the matches came across like the match was going to be different, but at the end of the day, it still finished up the way it was planned to be finished up, the way we know it's going to be finished up altogether. But regardless of that, it still was fun and entertaining to watch. I really enjoyed myself watching all four of these matches. There was some points in it, again, very dull, very boring, nothing, entertaining about it. But the tournament itself, those four matches were outstanding. I loved every one of them, and I will go into detail with you with my opinions on them. So, first thing we had, Undertaker and Kane with the Wyatt family talking their BS. That was a lot of just junk. It didn't even matter. It was the same old garbage. Who cares? But after that, we had Kevin Owens and Neville. Outstanding match. Two young studs performing well together. I see Neville as a main eventer at some point down the line in his career. He is definitely well worth throwing into main event status. He is a great wrestler, and he performed outstanding, and he left me thinking that he was going to win this match. And, of course, Kevin Owens put an outstanding performance with Neville. Unbelievable match. I have to say that was a 4.5 out of 5-star match. Unbelievable work. Really enjoyed myself tremendously with this match. We also had Tyler Breeze and R-Truth. Finally, Tyler Breeze gets his first official win against R-Truth. Not a bad match. It was okay. Nothing tremendous about this one, but it was alright nonetheless. You also see throughout the entire night Triple H going to the other competitors or participants in this tournament that he knows he could possibly, influence or convince to join with be his champion with the Authority and keep it away from anybody that is not an Authority type figure or supporter of Triple H and Stephanie McMahon's work and duty as a leader of the WWE's on television programming. So you see him talking to Cesaro, Kevin Owens. Cesaro is actually the best one, really, because he's a guy that's doing well. He is a really outstanding, great competitor. He had a great match with Roman Reigns, which I'll get into once we get to that match in this card. But I have to say this much. Cesaro is definitely a well participant to join with the Authority and become a WWE World Heavyweight Champion. But here's something that would be interesting. Having the Authority of all the members joined up in this tournament going with the Authority. All these participants going with the Authority, and Roman Reigns being front and center as the World Champion with the Authority all together. We later on in the show, though, first off, to get to my point, though, we had Dean Ambrose defeating Dolph Ziggler in a fucking great match. Wonderful, wonderful match. These two guys really need to do a program together, one-on-one action, a storyline between the two of them. They were outstanding together in this match against one another. Great action, entertaining stuff. Well worth the 15 minutes of action that they put into this match. I was impressed immensely. I really was. I could not believe how well they did and worked together. But then again, they're two great, outstanding performers. Dolph Ziggler is getting the bad end of the stick, really, in my opinion. And Dean Ambrose, after he won the match, put on a pretty good promo. His attitude was and definitely showing that he is the guy who's going to be a face. Roman Reigns is going to be a heel. And Roman Reigns, later on in the program, announces his reasoning is, I want to work hard, I want to be the champion, I want to be somebody that everybody will respect as me being the World Heavyweight Champion. And whether it's Cesaro, whether it's Del Rio, whether it's Kevin Owens, or fucking Dean Ambrose, his own buddy, he is going to beat every one of them so that he can be the world champion. Because that's what he wants to be. He wants to become the world champion. He's been hunting it down for months since WrestleMania, and now he wants to be the guy, the man. And that is a perfect setup because at the end of the day, The Rock did the exact same thing. Rock went against Nation of Domination. For about 2 or 3 months, he went ahead and he says, I'd rather be kissing the people's ass than kissing Vince McMahon's ass. And then at the end of the day, at Survivor Series of 1998, he became a heel. And he joined Vince McMahon, and the next day he said, I'd rather kiss Vince McMahon's ass than any of yours. So, this is a perfect setup. I think it's going to get tremendous heat. Definitely, I see Roman Reigns, if they do this right, they could get Roman Reigns say the right dialogue and piss everybody off. He could go out and say, you know what, fuck the respect. Not saying those words, but it's like saying, you know what, forget the respect. I don't care about the respect. I don't care about you people. You don't give me any respect, so why do I give a crap about getting respect from any of you when I could just be the World Heavyweight Champion and be with a guy who values my talent and my work ethic? And the hell with all of you guys. You want to boo me? Fine. I boo you. Fuck you. Kind of attitude. I'm going to be the World Heavyweight Champion. That's what matters at the end of the day. More money, more to provide for my family, and I get the World Heavyweight Championship at the end of the day. And backup on top of it with people that respect me for me and my talent. And there you go. That's a perfect setup. Dean Ambrose is your guy to represent the people. He's going after the title. He wins the world title at WrestleMania. And JD from New York 206 actually said this, and I totally agree with him now at this point in time because of that promo Roman Reigns put on last night. The one from the week before, if they wouldn't have done a promo like this, I'd have been like, nah, this is just fucking garbage and it doesn't make any sense to do this. But he threw it out there, I want respect from the people kind of attitude, you know, all that jazz. And from there, whatever. But wasn't nothing big of a promo. Pretty standard, ordinary, generic kind of promo, nothing special. But it was, you know, okay nonetheless. New Day, they went ahead, they had a match against Ryback and the Usos. That ended up being a DQ. Who fucking cares? Didn't even give a shit. Roman Reigns versus Cesaro, great match. 5-star all the way. These two guys put on an outstanding performance. Unfreaking believable. 20 fucking minutes of great action. That's what we want to see. Quality with quantity. That is, if you're going to give us quality, you can give us quantity. But if you're going to give us crap, then just shorten the matches so we can get through the garbage. You know? And this was not garbage. This was 100% old school pro wrestling entertainment action. This is what we should be seeing every fucking night. At least give us 4 good matches out of a 3-hour show so that we could be at least entertained from hour to hour within those 3 hours so we don't get bored out of our fucking minds and want to watch something else. This was outstanding work by these two guys. Unbelievable fucking match. Loved every minute of it. Cesaro and Roman Reigns was outstanding. I did not keep my eyes off this match. I was watching this from beginning to end. It was fun and enjoyable. 5 stars all the way. by both competitors. I mean, Roman Reigns, he doesn't have the greatest moveset, but he was fucking awesome with Cesaro, and he sold the pain that he was going through, what Cesaro was dishing out on him. And I was really impressed by this match. And definitely, come on, Vince, give Cesaro a push. He put on an outstanding match with this guy, and yet he's sitting there doing absolutely nothing. Come on. This is a joke. But again, 5 stars all the way around by both competitors. Dudley Boys and defeated Ascension. Nothing there. Didn't even understand the point of that match. That was just a joke and a half. Then we had Del Rio defeating Kalisto in a one-on-one match for the advancing into the semifinals to face Roman Reigns. This match was pretty good. Nothing great. I give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. This was a very decent match. I was very entertained by it, and it kept my interest. So I really liked it. It was very enjoyable to watch. And then the last segment of the show was the Divas contract signing for the Divas title between Charlotte and Paige. I have to say this much. They did some really good dialogue here for, like, you know, talking about past history, about them being friends and everything else. And Paige just pretty much went ahead and said, you know what? Who really cares about friendship? This is about being a world champion. They were going into a lot of stuff that a lot of fans were kind of saying they needed to break these factions up. And to hell with this friendship. They're all trying to become champions. And that's what they should all be more concerned about than anything else, than their friendships. And that's what they really were pushing along. But the one thing that I did not like in this whole segment is she really pushed the envelope. And they made Paige say this. They introduced the fact that their Charlotte's younger brother in real life died. And I couldn't believe that. I never even knew that the youngest brother died from Ric Flair's family. And Paige comforted her. And that situation was acting like a friend. And they were bringing that up from past history. And I didn't have nothing wrong with that. But then, you know, she starts saying, well, Charlotte says, like, she's fighting to be the champion. She may not be the champion forever, but it ain't gonna be over at Survivor Series where she loses the title to Paige and so forth. But and it was, you know, a realistic promo and everything. But they had to throw in the little and really push the envelope here, which to me was like a really desperate move on Vince's part to grab ratings, I guess, by saying that, hey, you know what, your brother, I guess, didn't have enough fight in him to survive and live. And that was just a downright fucking low blow kind of thing to do. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Vince probably talked to them about this. I hope that they were all okay with doing this. Not just Vince McMahon pointing his finger and saying, hey, you know what? I don't care if you guys like it or not. This is what you're doing. This is what you're going to say. And that's it. I hope that wasn't the situation, because I think that's really shitty on Vince McMahon's part. If they were okay with it, alright, that's fine. But still, at the same time, it was really pushing the envelope. And I didn't really agree with it. I thought that was kind of a low blow and kind of a really nasty thing to do. I really wonder how, you know, Ric Flair's reaction was to that, throwing his son's name in, who's recently deceased 2 years ago. So, I mean, I really don't know how that is going on behind the scenes. I hope that they were all in agreement and okay with doing it. But still, at the same time, I really disagreed with the idea of throwing that in there. I think that was really shitty for Vince McMahon to do that. But, with all that, overall, I was actually impressed with Monday Night Raw. It brought some good value wrestling. We saw more wrestling than fucking terrible promos and terrible action in the ring. So I was very impressed by this. I'm really, you know, I know it's predictable. I know who's going to win. It's going to be Roman Reigns winning the World Championship at the end of the day. And I know that, this is going to be a very bland. I think it's not going to be the greatest Survivor Series, but we're going to see a really cool ending to Survivor Series. And the show itself was very well put together in comparison to a lot of other Monday Night Raws. So me personally, I valued this episode very much, and I really liked it. I think this is a good template for WWE to fall off of and build more on in other future episodes where they give us good quality wrestling and good programming. This was a good Raw. I've never said this since I started this YouTube channel, but for the first time ever, they have started a really good Raw episode in comparison to all the Raws they've done in the last couple of years even. So I was very impressed by this. I hope they continue to do more. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode of Monday Night Raw this past Monday night. And I'll get right back to you, of course, as always. Hit that subscribe button as well. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great night, guys. Bye.